Happy Saturday.
Hey, everybody.
It's a gorgeous day.
Mm-hmm. You can open your window back up.
Oh, yeah. I walked outside of the school yesterday, and it actually smelled like fall. And it was great.
What does fall smell like? Pumpkins?
No, like
Crisp air. The air
crisp
is crisp.
air, leaves.
What's up, Shram, Martin, Desiree, Faith? Thanks for joining.
Wow.
Faith has to laugh at the abide by our community guidelines warning. They do not know us very well. So just as a disclaimer, next weekend, I don't know exactly what the plan will be, but it won't be a traditional recording because I won't be there. So
What does that mean? So it's not going to be as good?
yeah, obviously.
True.
So I don't know if you guys want to record by yourself or if we're going to record on Sunday or if John's just going to be mad at me.
I'm not mad, but we can't record by ourselves because we'll kill each other. So I think it's just better if we just do it on another day.
That's fair.
So Sunday?
Yeah, I could do Sunday.
Okay. I mean, I get back late Saturday night, so we can do like normal time, but on Sunday instead if you want.
Yeah.
So there you have it, and that would be our Halloween episode.
Yeah.
Do we have any new folks to welcome, Jen, or
not
dedication?
Not new this week. But I do have a surprise shot dedication for Mary Jo.
I picked it out.
Niquise picked out your shot, Mary Jo. So this is for you. Surprise shots, surprise shots. We don't know what they are because they're a surprise. Oh, wait, you guys didn't wait for me. That tastes like coffee colada syrup. What's it, Kahlua?
It's pretty good.
That was good.
You just always make the worst faces.
Yeah. I'm a puss. Can I request an angel shot?
What's an angel shot?
No, you can't request an angel shot here because you're not in danger.
That'd be funny if someone requests it.
An angel shot is the type of shot that you order at the bar when someone is creepy.
And you need help.
What if the bartender's creepy and you order that?
Then you're in double danger.
Ask for another bartender.
Yeah, you could do that.
Or just leave.
So what is up, everyone? So glad to be here.
If you've got trivia, please feel free to post it. If not, I will pepper some in.
I need to do better at this, but we're doing all of our episodes now live stream only for Supremos. So if you're wondering and tried to message us, there's literally no way you could have got through. So the reason I'm saying this is because for you guys to know, if you want to see these episodes when they're happening and be able to talk to us in real time, you got to be a Patreon subscriber, a Supremo subscriber. That is patreon.com/talkmurder. I am not very good at promoting us, and I at least got to throw that in there, because I'll go like 10 episodes without saying how to watch these live streams or anything.
Right.
So that's my plug.
Well, it is through the Supremos.
Yeah.
Which is on our Patreon. And if you join as a Supremo, then you can get access to these live shows only.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can, if you see on our screen right now, Shram is talking to herself, so you can give her a friend. We can give a friend in there.
She has other friends here watching with her. We've got Martin, Desiree, and Faith also here.
What's up, Martin, Desiree, and Faith? Our usual. If Talk Murder to Me was a bar, you guys would be the regulars.
Oh my gosh, that's just like that episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm where Larry gets his own sandwich and it's like whitefish salad, and he tries to switch with Ted Danson because it's a sandwich shop that has the name of their sandwiches based on celebrities. And so he gets so excited because he finally gets a sandwich, and then it's just like a disgusting sandwich. And he tries to pay off Ted Danson to get a different sandwich name. So if we had a bar, we could have different cocktails named after you guys.
That'd be cool.
Invest now for your...
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe we'll be able to franchise it one day. You know what I realized? And I've probably said this before on here because I often repeat myself, but it's because I don't remember. But like, I like Halloween, but I'm really been into horror a little bit more than I used to be.
Horrors?
Horror movies?
Oh.
Shows, more specifically.
Oh, yeah. That's what I meant.
Like,
totally.
Like, I don't know, like The Fall of the House of Usher, when I was younger, I wouldn't even probably go near that at all.
Yeah, I'm more open to it. Well, I guess I'm kind of like forced into it a little bit, but I'm open to it.
I don't force you to do things you don't want.
No.
I allowed you to stay up and read an extra couple chapters last night.
Thank
Why don't you tell people
for
about that?
allowing me to read a book.
No,
That's actually a real conversation that would have happened in like the 1600s.
Yeah.
Like non-sarcastically.
Oh, man. Hey, Balls.
What's up, Balls?
Hey, balls.
Balls. All right, tonight we're getting started. We're going to Google Earth tonight. This is an olden story, but we're going to around here. This is the Denton, county of Denton.
Where's Denton?
Texas. This is in Texas.
Okay.
Deep South Texas. And we're going to be talking about this little bridge right here. It's interesting because the bridge was actually built in the 1800s to connect Denton to the neighboring county. And in Denton, there was a population of one. There's only one person. So they literally built the bridge for one person. It's the stupidest shit ever. But the reason they did that is because it was up and coming and more people would move there.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. We're going to Old Alton Road, and I want to take us to the 1930s.
Ooh.
This is the late 1930s. There was a goat herder.
Mm-hmm.
He was known as a Goatman. This is a real thing. I didn't know this. They would call these herders Goatmen. What they meant by that is they would raise these goats and sheep, and then they would make milk and butter and meat, fur, and so that they would be called the Goatmen. So you would see signs up in some places, especially in Texas, that say, turn right for the Goatman. Kind of crazy, right?
That is pretty crazy.
It reminds me of two things. Number one, Sound of Music. High on the hill, the lonely goat. Okay, that was less than 30 seconds. I think we're fine. Second, it reminds me of Rat Race, which is one of my favorite movies.
We know.
Where the scene where they ask for directions and the lady, Kathy Bates, wants them to buy a squirrel, and she sends them on the wrong way, and they turn right, and it says, you should have bought a squirrel. And then they...
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
On this bridge that we're at right now, I'm going to go back to Google Earth. On this bridge right here, this is the Old Alton Bridge. In the late 1930s, a goat man lived down the street from here, and he had hanged a sign up on the bridge that says, Goat Man this way. Now, this goat man was very popular because his products, his milk, the cheese, was of extremely high quality. Extremely high quality.
Well, I mean, goat cheese is very good.
So people...
Love goat cheese.
With the blueberry? Mm-hmm.
So this man was getting real successful, and people would come from miles and miles and across the state. People would come from across the state just to buy this man's goat products. So he began getting successful, him and his family. He began getting successful. He was living in a little shanty. And by successful, I mean, he didn't have a car yet. He has a wife and 2 children, and he had his goats. But he kept his family well fed. And in the 1930s, that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
Fair.
Right after the Depression.
Exactly.
Hey, Natasha.
So what's up, Natasha? So people were coming all over the state to buy this man's products. There was only one problem with his setup, though, and some people had a problem with it. They had a problem with him getting so successful, and that problem wasn't with his products because they were real good, high quality. The problem was his skin color.
Oh, no.
And in Texas, the terrible troubles in Texas.
Oh, a nice alliteration.
That's what they called the KKK incidents in Texas.
Oh,
wow.
I did not know that.
There were certain members of a certain group, anonymous group, the Ku Klux Klan,
who wore white hoods, and
they had a problem with it. They had a problem with this man getting successful, and they had a problem with him and his high quality products, and people coming all over the state to get them. That was just they were not going to let this happen. So nothing good can come of this story.
Is this why was he like exiled? Is that why he was the only person living over there?
No, he wasn't exiled. He was more like
he wanted to be away from people.
No,
maybe?
it wasn't. No, it's not that he was that far away.
No, not that he was far away, but you said that he was the only person.
All right, so most African Americans in that time, even back then, would live in little shanties in this part of Texas and work in the fields or whatever, and they would most likely live together. He was different because he lived alone in his own place with his wife and kids, and he didn't go to the fields every day. Yeah. He was working for himself, and that was unheard of if you were black in 1930s.
Got it. Okay.
So it's like we say he was getting successful. I mean, he just wasn't. He was successful enough not to work in the fields. you know?
Well, he owned his own goat farm, so that's successful.
Exactly. So this man hung a sign up on the bridge, and that was what sparked a few Kluxers to take action, fill their hearts and their minds with hate, and go to his shanty one late night in late 1930s. Now, this story, the sources are very scarce because there was no police reports.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, even if there were, he's in the deep South.
That's
as
what
an
I'm saying.
African American.
And the KKK was pretty large and organized. And there were a lot of law enforcement and high politicians in the group. So this stuff wouldn't make the news anyway. It would be very hush hush.
I just have, I'm sorry to digress, but like, I don't understand where the name came from because it's the dumbest sounding name I've ever heard. It's just so dumb to me. What does Ku Klux even mean? It's just nonsense syllables. Also, like,
actually it's Ku Klux.
Whatever. That doesn't make it better.
No, I know, but I found that out like 2 months ago, remember? Because I thought it was Ku Klux Klan.
Oh.
But it's Ku Klux.
That's one of those misnomer things.
Ku Klux Klan. I don't know. That's weird. Let's see where it came from. I kind of want to know.
Not only that, but like if you stand behind a cause, you shouldn't have to fear being identified. Like if you have to wear white sheets because you're afraid of people knowing, or maybe they're not afraid of people knowing. I don't know, but like still, like you shouldn't hate, number one.
Dude, they have a website.
I'm sure they do.
Jeez.
The Knights Party.
That's what it stands for? That's
the Knights Party press release. Since when is the truth stereotyping? On Wednesday, October 18th, the Griot ran this headline. Black people say a negative media stereotypes in their community. Racism plays a role. Man, this is super racist.
I mean, I don't know
what were
you should expect something different. Yeah.
But again, like, I don't know. It just doesn't make it make sense. No, don't make it make sense. I don't want it to make sense. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. It's just people being awful humans.
Okay, so Ku Klux Klan is a Greek word meaning kyklos, which comes from the English word circle. Wait, all right. It's kind of crazy that a white supremacist group would use a Greek word. Oh my God, do you remember the Dave Chappelle skit where he was a clan master, but he was blind, so he's black?
Oh. Yeah, I do remember that. I do. Dave Chappelle. Dude. He's fucking hilarious. He was good. He came back pretty recently, and we missed him.
Yeah, that's
pretty. Hey, Carmen. Welcome.
Hola, Carmen.
What's up, Carmen?
Good to see you.
All right, check it out. So, Carmen, to catch you up, this goat herder, who was selling high quality goat products, milk and cheese and stuff, in 1930 in Texas, in the South, has just caught the attention of the KKK. So a group of Klan members, no one knows how many because, like I said, this doesn't necessarily make the papers. A group of Klan members descend on this man's home in November one late night, and they beat the door down and they drag this man out. The man's name is Oscar Washburn.
Okay.
Oscar Washburn. He was a black entrepreneur, and he was successful, and he was getting successful, and his name was getting around to other counties as the person to go buy your goat products from. So the KKK had a big problem with this. The Kluxers, in the pitch black of night, descend on his home, driven by malice and hate. They tear this man away from his humble shanty and his crying family, his beautiful wife and his 2 children. The children not even of the age to know what's going on. They don't know white person, black person. We're all the same. They're that age. They don't understand this racial divide, especially seeing where they're not actually living it. I mean, they're living it, but they're not in the fields living it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's working for himself. About 4 Kluxers, they drag this man by his shoulders. He's screaming. Now, the whole time he's saying, just do whatever you want from me. Just do not hurt my family. Do not hurt my family. They don't care about the family anyway. They just want to kill this guy for being successful. They drag him all the way to the old Alton Bridge.
Well, yeah, he's a threat to them because he's taking away profits from their people.
Yeah, I mean, Yeah.
I'm not justifying. I'm just saying, I'm trying to explain it in my head.
Now, he lived kind of far out, so it's not like anyone could hear him. And at this time, if people did hear him, they either didn't want to get involved or was rooting for the Klan members. Now, I'm not saying like all the people were. It's still a secret organization, which means it's, you know, the majority are not in the Klan at any time point in history, but still, you know, this is how it was. They had a noose on the bridge, on this trestle bridge. This is the trestle bridge right here. Since it was built, it's been a bridge not intended for automobiles. Still to this day, there's only a 5-ton limit, which is like the limit of your car. I think your car is like 2.5 tons or something.
Okay.
So you would not want to drive a car on here. This is a walking bridge and, you know, horse carriage, stuff like that. But at the time, it was suited perfectly well. This was in the 1860s when it was built.
Got it. Okay.
And the bridge still stands there today. It's a historic landmark. It's called the Old Alton Bridge, but as you'll see why in a second, most people refer to it as Goatman's Bridge. All right. The Kluxers had a noose already tied, and how nooses work is kind of like a slip knot where there's a loop, and of course everyone knows this, but there's a loop and then you put the head in, and when you drop someone from the bridge, for example, it tightens up. You do tighten it up before you throw someone off the bridge. What I'm trying to say is there's no way he could escape.
Right.
Okay. Unless it like detaches your head, which I don't know if that was ever a thing.
Well, so he would technically escape that way, but not alive.
These 4 Klan members, they put Oscar's head in this noose. And at this point, he just knows what's going to happen. He tries to get himself right with God. It's the middle of the night. You know, he is not screaming, but he can still hear his family screaming and crying from, you know, a couple 100 yards away in their shanty.
Like, could you imagine, though, like these people invading your home? If the same thing happened to them, they would never. They would be calling the police. This gang of people came in. They were burning stuff on my yard. Like, and they had the nerve, the audacity to do that to these people. It's just terrible. The more I think about it, the more upset I get about it. So I'll just try not to think about it. But I'm just saying, like, if they were ever a victim of their own crime, there would be more outrage, I feel like. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Can we read?
Yeah.
They seized the terrified Goatman, his pleas echoing in the cold air. With brutal determination, they fastened the noose around Oscar's trembling throat and hurled him mercilessly off the bridge. Yet when their bloodthirsty mob scurried to the river's edge, eager to revel in their wicked deed, they were met with an eerie sight: an empty noose swaying ominously above the still, silent waters.
Wait, what?
This is a true story, all right? They throw this man from the bridge with a noose tied around his neck. The noose is still there. It's not broken. It just doesn't have a body in it. Usually, because, you know, they look over to see the body swaying and stuff. Oh, yeah, we got him good, boss. Yeah. I sound like the guy from, You Gonna Eat Your Cornbread? You sure do got a pretty mouth.
Ew.
That was really good. So a Sling Blade. You ever seen that?
No.
You sure do got a pretty mouth.
Ew. I don't like that.
I had family that was in that movie. All right. They look over. This guy's not hanging from this bridge. So obviously tonight we're covering this haunted bridge called the Goatman Bridge. It is a haunted location that's very popular with paranormal investigators. There have been deaths at this bridge.
Oh, wow.
There have been multiple sightings.
So is the bridge haunted, or like was it just the Goatman that's a legend?
Well, we're going to talk about it. I do want to say the legend, it doesn't really fit in with the story. Of course, the story's real, and that really did happen. And it wasn't just Oscar. There were a lot of African-American men hanging from this bridge in this part of Texas. This wasn't the first time.
Okay.
Wasn't the last time. So we know that's true. But the thing that's weird about this story is the sightings are of a demon and not of a ghost, which I feel like
those are two different things.
That's what I'm saying. So
you can say that this story is real, but you don't believe me when you hear my story about the old city jail.
No. What I'm saying, if it can't be Oscar being sighted because he's not a demon, he would just be a spirit. However, unless he was possessed by demonic forces, people have seen both spirits and demons, but what I'm saying is this spot, since its history was so evil and had such a malintent, it has been used, especially in the 1980s, for satanic rituals.
Oh, and the Satanic Panic.
Exactly. And we do have proof of that as well. As you'll read, some of the police officers talk about the satanic rituals. You go there nowadays in the woods surrounding areas, you do see pentagrams carved into the trees and stuff like that. So we do know have been Wiccan practices and ceremonies here.
It's times like these and these stories that I love when it makes me miss the nearly departed.
What?
The first podcast attempt.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm glad we didn't do that one. If I did a ghost story now or ghost story podcast now.
What would you call it? Not that?
Probably something like, I don't know. I got a good one. Full body chills.
Ooh, I like that. That's a good one.
Yeah, it may have been taken by Crime Junkie, but...
Wait, do they do a paranormal podcast too?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck them.
Yeah. No,
good for them. Good for them. I didn't mean to say F them. I meant
Ghosted. That's a good one.
That's a great
Ghosted.
one.
Yeah.
I love that. Yes.
Good one, Tram.
Yeah.
Shram for the win.
Ghosted.
You're being promoted.
Ooh.
Are you going to pay her extra?
Don't
Shit.
take Brandon's title.
What's my title? I'm still the janitor.
That was your chosen title.
Yeah. Talk Murder to Me is kind and supports fellow podcasters. Do we?
We try.
Oh, no, John does not at all.
I'm just jealous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's jealousy, you know? I can admit that. All right, so this bridge has been popular on ghost hunter shows and everything, and they always find some ghost or whatever.
Okay.
A Michelle DePaul, which is the lead investigator of one ghost hunting group called the Mystic Ghost.
I've seen that show.
Oh, have you?
I think so.
She's also a medium, so she talks to dead people, sees dead people. I don't know.
Something like that.
She would say in a 2006 article that her and her team went and did a full investigation, full case files, and there was a noticeable cold spot that emerged as from nowhere at all. And DePaul says, well, that's easier for a spirit to manifest in colder weather. So that's
Okay.
that's not bad science. That's
Let me tell you,
just kidding.
I don't fuck with ghosts. Let me make that very clear. But I fuck with paranormal shows. Like, I will watch that all the time. Even though I would never, I don't like dealing with it in person. On TV, it's okay. It's good.
From a distance.
Did you know that Jack Osborne, the son of Ozzy Osbourne, has his own paranormal series?
No.
It's called Portals to Hell.
It's called I Wish I Was as Famous as My Daddy.
Sharon!
It's called My Sister is More Famous Than Me, although she sucks at singing.
Does she sing?
Yeah,
She sang for a little bit.
All right.
She did a remake of Madonna's Papa Don't Preach. You don't remember that? It was in 2006, I think.
No, I do not.
All right. So we know, Jen, you don't fuck with paranormal stuff. And ghosts.
I believe. Well, I say that because I believe in it and I don't mess with it. Like, I don't want to upset any ghosts or demons.
Just in case.
Yeah, I fully believe in it and have experienced it firsthand multiple times.
Is it more that you want to stay away from it because you fear it, or you just sick of making pottery with Patrick Swayze? God, this is the 10th vase I fucking made with this guy. He was a good looking dude, man.
R.I.P.
He was a great looking dude.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
It's interesting to me that you go with like saying he's a good looking dude versus like Demi Moore, who still looks amazing.
Yeah, he's a good looking dude too.
Was.
All right, can you read from Fort Worth Star Telegram? It's not in red.
From the Fort Worth Star Telegram on October 27th, 2006. Readying their equipment, they noted their surroundings. There were no lights, no cars, nothing but trees, as the two switched on infrared cameras, audio recorders, and electromagnetic sensors. For a half hour, one of the cameras zoomed in and out, seemingly by itself, as if it were trying to focus on some subject. Then a battery in another camera died inexplicably. It was supposed to have at least 90 minutes worth of charge. Each camera died more than once. That is the first time we ever had a battery on a piece of our equipment die, and that close to a proximity to a possible source of paranormal energy, the ghost hunter said.
What year was that from?
2006. Happens a lot at Skinwalker Ranch.
Mm-hmm. I did find a mysterious fire on the bridge. Now, this is before the incident we talked about, but I found this newspaper. Very interesting. It says the Alton Bridge on fire. This is from 1908. The old Alton Bridge caught fire in a mysterious manner. The department was called and the blaze extinguished with a few buckets of water. How the fire originated is not known, as the bridge is unused and there was no fire anywhere in the vicinity. Either it was ignited by some careless or incendiary person or by the excessive heat of the sun's rays. I don't know. Mysterious fire, paranormal activity. Let's go back to Oscar. Let's go back to Oscar's story.
Our Goatman.
Goatman. The Cluxers look over the bridge, hoping to see the Goatman swing back and forth, but he wasn't there. So what do? They rush down to the bottom of the trestle.
Yeah, they try to find him.
They search the river. They search that little creek and all the surrounding areas. He's nowhere. So at this point, they're thinking that this man has escaped somehow using his black magic voodoo. He escaped, they were thinking. So what they did was they rode back to the shanty and could still hear the children and the women crying inside. And they thought, let's see if he'll come out, not of the shanty, but out of the woods where he's hiding, if we set his home ablaze with his wife and kids still inside. So one of the men put a torch and placed it right by the railing of the home. Then they all four circled the shanty to make sure the wife or his children couldn't escape.
The panicked Klansmen frantically searched the area unsuccessfully before rushing to Washburn's shanty, setting it afire with the Goatman's family shrieking inside, perhaps to bait a desperate rescue attempt by the vanished Oscar. Washburn was never seen again, they say, but a vengeful spirit has haunted the old Alton Bridge ever since.
Not to glorify the KKK's actions in any way at all by saying this, but let's do devil's advocate. Why was this Goatman, why was his product so good? Was he worshiping the devil?
To the devil for such great goat cheese?
I did see that.
Oh, come on. Goat cheese is just delicious. There ain't no devil involved.
But no, I mean, it is delicious. However, when you think about it, goat, like there's a very...
Oh, like Baphomet, whatever?
Yes. There's a distinct connection between the devil and a goat. So why was he a goat farmer?
Good point.
Not saying he was a demonologist
But maybe that's why they're making that connection.
Perhaps.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Why is the Baphomet a goat?
I don't know.
Was that in the back?
Because he's bad.
But it's very interesting to me how goats are like, the goat is like related to the devil and Baphomet, but lambs and sheep are not.
Opposite.
Aren't they?
Lamb of God, you know?
Yeah, the lamb is a sacrificial symbol. It's innocent. Oh, that's a baby goat, baby sheep. But what do you call a baby goat? A kid, right?
Yep.
So, like, what is that? Aren't they cousins? They're very similar animals, right? What is the difference between a goat and a sheep, really?
They are different.
Goats are stubborn. Sheep are kind of more, you can herd them.
Their fur is very different.
You know what's really fucking stubborn? A pig.
I thought you were just going to say Stella.
No.
Estella is also very stubborn.
We had to round up some pigs this week, and by we I mean me and my principal. We had to round up some pigs that got out of their
pen.
Pen. Thank you, pig pen. Yeah, at the farm at school, and the first one was a huge ass pig, right? And I was able to kind of herd that with like a long PVC pole, and not cruel or anything. It was just like, no, you're going here. No, you're going there. But the smaller pig, it was still a big pig. That thing did not want to go back in its pen. And I actually eventually had to get a rope around it and like lead it that way. But it did not want to go. That thing was stubborn as fuck. Like that dude did not want to go back into the pen. It took half an hour of my Monday night. But it was really comical actually. But
so perhaps this Goatman was the devil. Now I will say there is another report of one that I didn't mention. I just wanted to do this one story because there is another African-American man who was sacrificed on this bridge as well. And that story, I couldn't find any truth to it. I couldn't find any sources backing it up. But it kind of goes like this. There was this man who was in the same circumstances or something. Not much is known about his background, but he was dragged to the bridge. And when he was thrown off, he was actually thrown off with his sheep, I guess. This is the story. The goat. He was thrown off with the goat.
Oh, he had his goat with him?
Yeah, he had his goat with him. He was thrown off. His head was instantly severed. His body was still swinging from the rope, but his head fell off. Eventually, his body did slide down and fall to the trestle or fall to the creek below. Now, this is probably no truth to this, but this is one of the paranormal claims.
Yeah.
And the man, he basically took the head of the goat and put it on his own body, and he became the goat man. I don't know. That is just fucking out there. That
is out there.
Yeah.
That is out there.
Some of the reports are kind of crazy. Now, these are real reports. If you go to the bridge today, you can actually do this. If you knock on the bridge 3 times, you can actually
summon
within a few minutes. Now this is multiple reports of people doing this.
Martin, how far away are you from this place? Martin's in Texas.
Texas is a big ass state, though.
I know. You can drive for a whole day and still be in fucking Texas.
I know.
You knock on the steel bridge 3 times, as you would the Goatman shanty if you were going to buy goat cheese. Knock, 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 and then wait about a few minutes, and then you start getting the very real sense of smell of decaying flesh. And other reports say that some people have experienced not only decaying flesh, but burnt flesh, being the wife and kids. And then you will see, quote, unholy glowing eyes that burn red from the darkness, end quote. And then it appears in full profile, a, quote, large, snarling, goat-headed man beast stomping in the shadows.
Does he have hoofs or hands?
Jen, stop hitting the damn
I
microphone.
don't mean to do it. I'm
Jesus
sorry.
Christ.
It's not like I'm trying to. I'm sorry.
Also, people will be ran off the bridge screaming. Some people would be thrown off. Others would be ran off because they would hear these hooves chasing after them.
So he has hooves and a goat head, but everything else is a human body?
Mm-hmm.
Like a opposite of a centaur.
Or is he bipedal or
I don't know.
No one truly knows why all these paranormal accounts keep happening. A lot of people say they hear things in the woods and smell the burnt flesh because it's the mama looking for her lost children. Others say that it's been haunted since the 80s when a group of Satanists were on the bridge and they opened a portal to hell. And there are a lot of pentagrams carved in the trees there. And we do know for a fact that satanic rituals have taken place there since the 80s at least. Can you read from the Dallas Observer?
From the Dallas Observer, one local police officer says that pet stores around the area stopped selling cats due to the amount of sacrificed cats being found in these woods.
Oh, no.
So that's a police officer saying that.
Oh.
So even today, there are people practicing devil worshiping there. Hold on. The woods surrounding the bridge is where they usually practice. You will find missing hunters, strange lights. You'll hear a mysterious woman's voice calling out. And then there was even a sighting by the crypto crew, and this is what they took on their phone. Wow.
What?
No, that's just somebody dressed up.
No.
You think?
I don't know.
I'm just showing you what they took on their freaking thing.
Now, if you could give me a thermal image on that, if you can like thermalize that specific image.
Damn, look at that dong.
You can't see the dong.
What are you talking
That's the
about?
dong right there, that third leg.
Maybe.
There's no third leg.
Maybe
it's a female. Listen, okay. So did you know that there's actually a condition? Now I'm sure that a lot of people know about this because of COVID. Like it's called ad nauseum. Okay, when you don't have a sense of smell. However, there's a condition similar called paranauseum, where you like smell like death.
Hypersensitive.
You can smell like death, like smell like fish and like dead bodies and all that stuff.
I know the cure for that. Just showering once a day using body wash.
You wouldn't know the cure for that, actually.
Getting in between the nuggets.
Because you don't shower every day.
How the fuck do you know, Jen?
No, I'm just kidding.
Do you have cameras
you do shower
in this house?
No, you do shower every day, but you don't use deodorant. That's right.
He's back on deodorant.
Wow.
He's back on it.
I'm just using comments from previous episodes.
Oh, you want me to throw some comments from previous episodes? Hey, should I just step over Jen? I think she's dead or passed out or something.
That was episode number 10.
That was a good one. That was a fun one.
That was a fun one.
Let's bring back some absinthe, y'all.
Oh my God, no. I would only do it if we got at least 5 new Supremos this week, paid.
Oh.
If you can produce 5 new paid Supremos this week, then I will drink absinthe for the Halloween episode.
If you the one to getting the money from it, why don't you?
Not you. I'm talking to the people. I'm talking to the people, to our fans.
I want to talk about one death that we do know happened in 2018.
Oh shoot, that's super recent.
That is recent. So this is the boy that was found. He's a 17-year.
So how many people, like, if you're saying that there were, missing hunters and things like it, do we have is that quantified, confirmed at all in terms of what numbers we're really talking about?
Yeah, I just looked up. I typed in, if you type in Alton Bridge, old Alton Bridge.
And you said that there were incidents prior to Oscar as well. So the pattern doesn't start with him necessarily.
What's that?
There were incidents with the bridge prior to the Oscar family situation, the family annihilation, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like not really necessarily about Oscar himself.
No, I just did one story. Others report seeing a ghostly man herding goats over the bridge, while others say they have seen an apparition staring at them, holding a goat head under each arm. Stranger stories even include people having seen a creature that resembles a half goat or half man. If you just type in missing or deaths around Alton Bridge, there's a lot. And I found one that is currently kind of unsolved, I would say.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
But it kind of struck me as weird. Let me see. And that is the death of this boy right here in 2018. His name is Lermont Stowers Jones, 17-year-old Denton high schooler. This is him right here. This was in 2018. His body was found drowned, so water in the lungs, in 2018. But there's some kind of strange stuff with this one that I found. He was Denton high schooler, 17 years old. His father said he, quote, did real good in life and was an organist for his church. A few days before Thanksgiving 2018, the family saw him for the last time. The son didn't come home. The next day, they got a phone call that said this. This is what the father said.
They asked me, do you have a son named Lermont? Jones said. And I said, yes. And they said, well, you need to come identify his body at the old Alton Bridge.
Can you keep going?
From caranews.com, Jones said about 20 minutes after he got that first phone call about identifying Mont's body, he got another call from a Texas game warden who said Mont's body wasn't at the bridge.
Eventually, there's some inconsistencies with the story. Eventually, they found him and his body near the bridge. And the father said this.
Wait a minute. Y'all just said y'all been searching for 16 hours with drones and divers, and you said his body was not in there. There's no way his body is in there. And 16 hours later, you say his body's here, Jones said. Something's not right with that picture.
Something's definitely not right with this whole situation. He apparently, I did some more research, and he voluntarily jumped from the bridge. And this is a little creek. It doesn't really seem like any kid would think that would be a smart idea.
Well, how tall is what's the height on the bridge?
Was he with friends?
Yeah,
maybe?
he was with a few friends. I keep getting, there's different sides of the story, and I feel like there's some things that need to go. I didn't go into the stories like a lot, but the cause of death was an accidental drowning because he jumped off the bridge into a creek.
I mean, I could say, I'm not saying that all students would do this, but if there's a body of water there, your parents are always like, if Jimmy jumps off the bridge, are you going to jump off the bridge with him? It's like, but you may not realize the depth of the water or the, velocity and acceleration from the height of the bridge to the water. You're not thinking physics when you do that stuff. So it's possible that he jumped off the bridge voluntarily, but didn't intend to harm himself. But
yeah, when you first read about the story, it does sound like there's some weird things going on. And yeah, there is. It's weird that his body was misplaced. Mm-hmm. But I found this weird blog that apparently the guy knew him or something, and he explains it real well. There were some problems with other students and bullying. Not just bullying, but there was, let me show you this little blog. This is from like a WordPress site. Teenage dispute over a girl, the rumor mill, Mont that's his name, Mont. Mont began getting threats. So he was on probation. I know he's only 17, but the story was something like this. He was with some older people who broke into someone's house, and he wasn't involved, but he was just there. So he got in trouble with that. So he was on probation. So this is so that was his first probation check-in is the last time they saw him. And then there's some other stuff. I didn't honestly go over this, but I will tell you though, from what I did read, this does need to be opened back up 100%. Like I feel like, and
do you think he was pushed?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, pushed or something nefarious like that. Like I said, I didn't do this case. I did the bridge in general. So I was just looking up, deaths.
There's a lot around it,
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, I saw at first, this is a bridge known for lynching, the black population back in the day. So it's just, I don't know.
Interesting.
I mean, it could have been something.
Well, I would love to look into this further. I think that it would be a very interesting case.
Yeah, I can do it later. So that is basically the bridge.
Well, what's your take on the bridge? Do you think the bridge is evil, or do you think, there's something there? Or I kind of err on the fact that something bad happened there and then it gets a legend, and then in the future, that's where other things then happen. Not that the bridge itself is, but it's like it gains a reputation of a place of evil, and therefore more people do bad things there.
Well, I feel like from a paranormal perspective, there's the portal to hell being the bridge itself version, or like there's a couple of things that can contribute to that, or legend. Someone says, this was a popular place to lynch people, so obviously their spirits are held here, so it must be haunted. Like word of mouth, like paranoid type stuff. Or there's like the legend of the Goatman, like, because of this specific incident and he was involved in XYZ, this stuff happens. Like, so I feel like there are a lot of moving parts. So is it the bridge itself that's a portal to hell, or haunted because of what happened there? You know what I mean? Like, or is it the people that were involved in the satanic rituals and all the stuff that's happening? So is it the bridge, or is it the people around the bridge in each specific incident?
I mean, if you believe in all this stuff, then if you believe in the paranormal stuff, then you can say the temperature gets colder, which I do more believe nowadays ever since watching the Skinwalker Ranch. I know I keep saying that, dude, but if you haven't watched that shit, I think it'd change your mind, because it's not just some yahoos. I mean, you have an astrophysicist that is on board, and he's the reason I'm going back to school.
I think that's so awesome. I'm so proud of you.
I'm like, if this Alabama hick can do it, he's smart, then I can do it.
He's very smart, yes.
Well, I mean, also too, like there's just so much out there,
a lot of unexplained things,
and it's I think that's kind of what maybe, I know I mentioned earlier that I'm like kind of more into horror stuff than I was before, but like it's just like this like you want to debunk it,
Well, I think it's, what is it, Occam's razor, right? The simplest answer is usually the right one or the correct one. So if you're searching for what is the simplest answer, and the simplest answer is not something supernatural.
If you go there thinking it's supernatural, you're going to see
something supernatural.
Everything you see or hear, you're going to associate with it. If you were there not knowing what bridge it was, and you're just there for a nice walk, you would not notice anything like that. I'm telling you. Here, let's read this. My experiences on Old Alton Bridge.
I was going to say, what we should do is we should do a tour of the United States of these places. Like, have 3 different, after you go to school. So, like, you have someone who's, like, totally, like, paranormal sensitive. Someone who is taking his astrophysics degree and all of that. And someone who does not believe in paranormal, and see what the 3 different opinions are.
I just started a poll to get the reactions of those watching, if you think the bridge is supernatural.
All right, this guy from Reddit says they played hide and seek at the bridge. What's this guy, like 12? The fuck?
Maybe he did that years ago.
Maybe it's high school and they were playing Manhunt, which is the adult version of hide and seek.
But it's the same thing.
Yes, but it's better.
I heard a woman either crying loudly or laughing. It was hard to tell the difference. And I had a fairly bright flashlight with me, and I lit up, and it lit up where it had. I lit it up where it had sounded, and saw nobody. And I can't. This guy needs to learn how to write.
While you're looking at that, has anyone seen the latest TikTok trend where they're mocking Zach Bagans from Ghost Adventures? And it's like, oh, when he gets possessed, or like this, it's, I think it's one account that's like dresses up in this muscle suit with like a Ed Hardy t-shirt. And it's like, I'm Zach Bagans and this is Paranormal Adventures or whatever.
Is that show still on? Is that still
I think
like
it does. Well, there was a
He's the one that bought the Dybbuk box. That's the guy that bought the Dybbuk box.
Really?
Yeah. And because he has a museum in Vegas called Not Haunted.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't realize he was the owner.
He bought the
of that.
Dybbuk box because we did that story of the Dybbuk box.
Got it. Well, so far from our poll, they do not think the bridge is supernatural. Faith says, I think humans are evil by choice.
Ooh.
That's a really good saying there.
I wonder if it's like people are evil by choice and then they blame it on supernatural stuff.
Like, I think if there's
to hide the accountability,
a knowledge of something that bad that's happened at a place, I think it's more, you have it in the back of your mind. It's a bias then that like bad things will happen here. And it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
This guy from Reddit, Slug Lord, said he did a Ouija board session at the bridge.
Won't do it
on Halloween. Basically,
he's asking for it.
Yeah,
he is asking for it. But
yeah.
you know what? I think Ouija's fucking fake, and everyone always moves it.
Well, you know what? You got remember the Ouija board that we sent Shram?
So,
and it had blood on the pan tip.
Yeah, that
Like-
Shram has the cursed object.
Well, listen.
okay. Well, if I get a Ouija board, would you do it?
No, I absolutely
yeah,
will not.
I would because I don't believe in that.
I'll
shit.
sit in here. I'll sit in the room with you, but I absolutely will not take part.
So
in
you
it.
wouldn't do it, even if we called the worst
I
demons.
would know you would be the one moving it.
I will sit here as an observer.
What the fuck? I won't move it then.
Then what if it was just me? Like I would do it just me on the Ouija board because then I would know it doesn't fucking move.
All right, let's do
So
it.
you
It's
would
a board
if
game.
I promise
by,
you,
Mattel or
Right.
some shit. It's a game.
yeah, if I promise
fake.
you on our marriage that I'm not going to move it, you would still think I'm moving it?
Probably because you want to fuck with me. You're like, this is gonna be hilarious.
Well, promise it on.
But see, I would do that, but then I wouldn't move it, or it would move a different direction what I'm trying to move. I did a Ouija board at the Alton Bridge 2 Halloweens ago.
Oh, it's his story. I thought he was saying it for him, and I was like, when?
Basically, I was goofing. Jen, are you playing with your balls over there? I see the cover moving. Look, dude, you are...
Babe, can you just keep going?
No,
are you
she's over
talking
there
about?
playing pocket pool.
I don't have fucking balls.
All right, basically, I was goofing around with friends on Halloween night, and we did a Ouija reading there. Surprisingly, got some clear answers. Asked if there were spirits around. Yes. Asked for a spirit's name. Peter. That would be me fucking with him. How old are you, Peter? 10. How did you die? Fire. Oh, that's weird because there was a fire there.
But again, he knows the story going into it.
Then it said afraid. Asked what it was afraid of. Mom. Then we shut down and we left.
Whenever you're playing with the Ouija board, this is for all listeners, make sure you say goodbye, because if you don't, they're not leaving.
Or
you
you
have
could-
to say goodbye.
You could call them a bunch of pussies. Oh my God. Vice Pope says, quote, I lost my virginity to the Goatman. I still miss him today.
Gotta love Reddit.
And then Pope Torak said, I went fishing overnight a couple of times. Like, what the fuck?
Great spot for some catfish.
What the fuck?
He says. No, I'm just kidding.
Let me see.
I kind of want to watch a Ouija board session with just Nicole to see what would happen. Why don't we go to like a known haunted place, like a cemetery downtown or something, and do it?
Oh, this dude was bit.
By what?
Hurricane Typhoon. This was crazy. One time I went there with my girlfriend to do some graffiti. Then I walked around and got bitten by a fuck ton of mosquitoes.
I feel that pain. I also often get bit by a lot of mosquitoes.
As someone who has experienced supernatural stuff in their
Oh
life,
my God.
Jen's PSA.
you don't fuck with that stuff.
Jen, that shit's not even real, dude.
It is real. It's real. I'm telling you, it is real. I've experienced it personally, even though John doesn't believe me. Like, that shit's real. You can't, it's real. You don't fuck with ghosts. You don't fuck with demons. Just leave it to the other realm.
That shit's not real.
It is real. It is real.
Well, if you think it's real, then, I think a lot of people do, since 75% do think that there is some supernatural stuff going on at the bridge, and you're not alone.
I know I'm not alone. Like, there's why do you think that paranormal stuff is so popular in the world today? Like, that stuff, it's real.
Because bored housewives don't have anything better to do with their time.
Like I said, I would love to see I would.
They listen to this shit and then they go tell it all.
See, I love you both, but I would trust a
gross.
Ouija board session with just Nicole more than I would trust a Ouija board session with both you and Nicole.
Why the fuck?
Because you would do it on purpose.
That's fucked up that you would say that. I mean, it's true, but still,
okay, there you go.
So why is it a problem? We know you.
It's all good. He's in a mood.
No, whatever. Ghosts can suck my dick.
Well, there you go.
You probably would like it.
Oh, you know what I thought? So we watched this alien movie. If I ever get abducted,
okay,
and the light comes down to bring me up, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take one step back and I'm going to pee into the light, and all the pee is going to go up into the spaceship.
That is the most John response I can ever think of.
Well, thanks for joining, everybody.
Yeah. So, like I said, all these episodes will be Supremo episodes.
What the heck was that?
A ghost.
Shh, someone just screamed in the neighborhood. All right, that's it.
All right, we're going to go see what's going on.
All right, good night, you lovely, lovely.
There's sirens, too, if you don't hear them.
No, I hear sirens.
Yeah, what was that?
I don't know. Let's go see.
All right, let's go. Bye.
Bye.
Good night, you lovely, lovely people.
Run this shit.